you imagine the dumbbell BS times a million, and that's what you get when you talk about feelings of depression or insecurity, or how to struggle. People immediately in the media, if you are sensitive or vulnerable, you get attacked for your vulnerability, which is why so many people stay quiet, especially when they're having struggles. They stay quiet because they don't want the stigma. They don't want to be seen as less than. They don't want to attack. My feeling was, well, what else are they going to say at this point? If I think it's going to be helpful to people, I want to talk about things. People in my life said, well, careful on the you talk to a therapist thing, because people are going to think you're crazy. And I said, all right, well, maybe they're right. I said, but the point is, that's exactly why you do it. You do it because it's such a great tool in my life. This guy's become like a life coach for me. Funny story for you guys. My therapist started out as a couples therapist. And after that first wave of couples therapy where the husband traditionally takes the beating, they both decided, because they both decided.
I think about couples retreat is what I think about. I don't know if you've seen the movie Couples Retreat.
Both of them decided that my wife didn't have to be there anymore.
Honey, I'm going to be a while. I'll be right back.
He became my therapist, and he's been my therapist for a long time. He's like a life coach, best tool I have in my life.
So he won you over. He won you over as a one-on-one. You want to spend time with him.
I believed him. I do believe him that he said, look, if you want things to work in your life, you have to do everything you can to work on yourself and make accommodations everywhere that you can. And that is a skill set. And, it's great to be a natural fighter and to be great with confrontation. It has limited applications in your personal life. You don't want to take on every argument. If you want to stay married or you want to be a good parent,
Yep.
You got to learn how to shut your mouth and listen and let things play out. And I was never really good at that before I started that process. And then when I went through the down, he said to me, it seems to me that we keep coming back to a similar cycle of emotions for you. And I think that you're having a hard time regulating how you feel about these things. And I would like to try, after we've talked this out for a while, I'd like to try you on an antidepressant and see if it helps you with your kind of balance of how you're feeling. Because I would have like big lows, like, I'll never be what I was, look what I did to the family, I'm getting attacked for helping my brother, I didn't even really help him, you know what I mean? Because look at the situation he's in, so it's like, I failed. And so then I was like, okay, let's take it, give me all of it. I want all the smoke. And he was like, no, that's not how these works. We start with a small dose. I was like, no, I'll take the big dose. Whatever the big dose is, I want the big dose. And obviously I learned about how it really works. And I was like, I should talk about this, because he said, a lot of people won't go on medication because of the stigma. And then I'm in this training course for this Coast Guard certification. And they're talking about how you're going to have a P test, in a drug test and all that stuff, all the protocol. And I say, hey, what about if you're on like medication? Do we have to list that stuff? And the guy's a great guy who did the course, and he was like, what do you mean? Like crazy pills or something like that? And I was like, yeah, like crazy pills. What if you're on that? And I was laughing when I said it, because there's no shame. I have no shame in my game. I know who I am. I know who I'm not.
Pat, did you know, like we talked before the show, because I saw your Kanye West interview.
Yeah.
And you kept reverting back. Number one, you called him Kanye West multiple times. It's Ye. It's Ye.
I didn't even know he'd changed his name.
Right.
And with no disrespect.
You kept addressing not only the anti-Semitism stuff. You're like, are you addressing your mental health? And you were very open. You're like, listen, I take my depression meds every day.
Right.
And you leaned into it.
Well, but I think it's like, we're living a lie here that it's an exception. Depression is, by most people's calculus, a leading illness and diagnosis in our country. My concern with Ye, and he called into the show, I didn't know that was going to happen. I don't like putting people in distress on television. One of the biggest opportunities I missed in my career was when Charlie Sheen was all the rage. about the tiger's blood. And
Winning.
I had common friends with him, and there was no question, and again, no disrespect to him, because I don't think talking about somebody's health is really anyone's business, but there were clearly stability issues there that had to be, so I wasn't going to put that on TV, because I felt it was fanning the flames of seeing that as less than, seeing that as a carnival act. And I didn't want to do that, and that's my concern with Ye also, is that people take what he's saying as if it was coming from a sober mind. And that's dangerous in terms of discounting somebody's illness. And it creates a baseline for what's okay to scrutinize that I don't agree with. Anyway, the short answer is everything that matters is okay. And I'm excited about building something at News Nation. I've never done that before.
You look like you're having fun, which is very good. I mean, when I see your podcast stuff, it looks like you're having fun with your YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel podcast is new for me. It's the only thing I've ever done professionally that is only what I want it to be. You know, I pay for all of it. I just started doing ads, which happen to be my favorite part of it. I've never done an ad in my life.
Like live reads.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's not the performance of it. That's all easy. But if I like it, I say yeah. Like the
you do the living green things.
AG1 stuff. I mean, it works for me. I'm a huge supplement guy, and it's really hard to get the mixes right and what your body's actually going to absorb and not, and what makes a difference. Like gut health, inflammation, all these things that like beset ethnic bloodlines. I'm into it, so it works for me, so I'll say it. So I get a lot of offers for advertisers where I'm just like, well, this sounds like a bullshit thing, So I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to say it.
So have you done Manscaped yet? Have they reached out to you yet? Because they're going to reach out if they haven't
yet. They're not
going
to, first of all, no.
This is a very important question.
My son has a manscaping kit that I got him.
So there you go. The 17-year-old.
His game is strong. I am like a drop gene Italian. I am one of the most hairless I'm like the Mexican hairless Chihuahua. I am that version of an Italian.
Yeah,
guy.
You don't have any arm hair going on here.
My grandmother had more of a mustache than I have.
Nice, hot. By the way, real quick, shout out to our sponsor today, Manscaped. I'm just kidding.
No, we're not doing no Manscaped. No. Well, by the way, you've done it before. You've done Manscaped before.
Yes,
I want to follow up on some of the questions here with you. So you're saying, I'm going through this. You know how sometimes you talk to people like, look, 38 years old, I've never had any allergies. And then all of a sudden I got this allergy. I never thought I had a allergy to this, allergy to that. The other day, Vinny is having shrimp. His lip becomes like this ridiculous lip. And everybody thought it was a prop. And it was his lip.
It was a real reaction.
But he's 44 years old. He's got this lip. And so did you have a track record in the past of being depressed or going through this before, or was this like, what's this all about? I'm a tough guy, I can handle something like this, or was it like, man, I'm tough on the outside, but man, deep down inside, I got some insecurities, and I've been hiding it very well, and people don't know about the fact that I'm afraid of this, or shadow this, or that. Can I be the man that I want to be? What was it for you?
I think that it's a great question, by the way, and I think that there is a tendency to confuse personality with your chemical balance, right? And there's certainly correlation. But my obvious, and I'm very blessed with a lot of very long time friends who will say to you, oh no, this guy's had problems ever since I met him. But personality flaws aside, I had never, this is really the truth. Here's what really knocked me sideways. I did not see this coming. I knew the moment that I had my brother on during the pandemic, I was going to pay a price. And anyone who's around me remembers me saying it to my brother. When he was, Captain COVID and the Love Gov and all this stuff, I said, enjoy this, because there is an immutable reality in media.
You told him this?
Oh yeah, if you are going this way, you are going to go this way. And I said it to him. My brother is friendly and more than collegial with Governor Christie. And when Governor Christie was having his first love up, you remember that? When he was like the new Giuliani and he was tough and all this.
Yeah, before the bridge.
I would say to Andrew, listen, it's an immutable truth in media. If they're looking for reasons to bring you up, they're going to look for reasons to bring you down. And if circumstances allow, it's going to happen. We saw it happen there. happened with Andrew. I did not anticipate how it happened with Andrew, but I knew I would pay a price for having him on because it was an obvious conflict. Now, the reason that I was okay with it was, one, my bosses really wanted it.
Jeff Zucker?
Yeah. And I don't think he made the wrong call, by the way. But I knew that the media would say, well, you're having your family on. The interesting thing was always the disconnect between the PBDs of the world and the journalists of the world. I have been in the business a long time. I've won almost every piece of lucite they give out in television journalism. I've never had people thank me for anything in terms of the value of work as they did for the work with my brother and when I was sick. It's not even a close contest. The number one thing that people say to me when they see me is, thank you for how you helped my family during COVID. Thank you. Nothing else even comes close. So because I knew that that was the feedback of people saying, you know, I'm so afraid of so-and-so getting sick. I got this old person. I got this immune compromised person. Thanks for letting us know what it's like to have it. I was okay with it, but I knew I'd pay a price. I just couldn't have anticipated what took my brother down and the opportunity the media would have to scrutinize me. I didn't see it coming. And as a result, when it came, something I'd always defined myself as, which is really good at anticipating what's going to come and how within media and politics, I was kind of blindsided by it. And everything that was said about me didn't make sense. It seemed like this is, I don't know how you could believe this. This can't be true. You may not like that I helped my brother. You may not like that I had him on TV. You may think it was a sin of journalism. Yeah. But obviously, it was what my boss was okay with, otherwise it wouldn't have been on TV. And I never lied about helping my brother. I told the audience got it. Nobody expected me to objectively cover my brother. I never did. My interviews with him weren't accountability interviews. Nobody would accept that.
Who mom loves more and who's this and
yeah,
who's
I mean,
that.
you know, he was just wrong about all of that, but that's okay. but that's, look, it was what people I felt were really benefiting from in that moment of the familiarity of it. I just didn't see it coming. So, you know, Patrick, when you don't see something coming, it is much more damaging. You know what I mean? So like the hook can be half as powerful as what your jaw can take. But if you didn't see the hook coming,
terrible.
It's destabilizing as much as it is injurious. So that's what it was for me. I didn't see it. And it gave me an opportunity that I don't wish on anybody, but it was really helpful. I got a good chance to go back to zero of everything that you had that you may have valued is gone. So now what do you really value? What do you really want to do? What do you really want to be about? Because you're starting over at 50 something, whatever I was at the time, 51, whatever. And that's not easy. I don't wish that on somebody, but I believe very much that there are no problems in life. There are opportunities. They can suck. They can be great. They're still about what you make out of them.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.